What's going on, folks? Welcome to another Plan With Me session. Right now, you're watching me prep for my summer school vocab class. This week, we've been focused on personal finance vocabulary. So the week is culminated with them making their own budget. So we spent the whole week playing with different tools, online tools, websites, in order just to learn about the different expenses within a budget. So on this particular day, what you're seeing me do is now give them a final assessment for the week, in which I give them different financial situations and scenarios. I give them different levels of income. I give them different expenses ranging from aging parents to childcare to large car payments, just so they have to kind of brainstorm and creatively problem solve around, okay, here's my monthly income, but I have these really large fixed expenses. What can I cut down on realistically? Some of my students were really thoughtful, and they said, can I have roommates? And so they use other classmates as roommates to split the cost. What was funny was just hearing the level of discussion, right? Some of the boys wanted to be professional athletes, so they wanted to make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And I told them, hey, for this particular exercise and this day, you have to stick to this income amount that I gave you. So again, you're seeing me bubble in some things for them that they have to adhere to. Also, what I found funny, while the boys want to be professional athletes, I had a group of girls who were saying that they'll just marry rich, or they'll have a second income because they'll have a very wealthy boyfriend. And who am I to judge? I love just hearing the conversations. Also, as they were doing this, a lot of students were questioning some of the terms, and I said, well, look it up. I think the beauty of this exercise is making kids do the work. I can't tell them everything. They have access to technology. They see the vocab, and I said, hey, get on Google, look at what that term means. What is a bonus? What is utilities? What does that mean? And for some of the terms we went throughout the week, but some of the kids needed to see it and be forced to do their own research for it to be stuck to memory. And this is a really important exercise, especially for students. A lot of my students during the summer are coming from private schools, in which cost anywhere from 20 to 30 grand a year. And this exercise really made them have a certain appreciation of their parents' sacrifice and understanding that the Bay Area is a really expensive place to live. Also, I made sure to tell students that it's mandatory that they save 10% of their income. No matter what their income level was that I assigned to them, they had to save 10% for savings and retirement. Just a good practice. Of course, I think they'll need more as they age, but 10% just let them know, like, this is also a budget item, your savings account. And then also, as I was walking around, I had students, when talking about college tuition, they said, well, can my parents just pay for college? And I go, well, think about it. All right, look at the cost of your dream college. Now, think about what your parents' mortgage is. Do you want them to take a second mortgage? And a lot of students had a moment to kind of reflect and think, wow, that may be a big financial burden on my parents. Some other things that came up, of course, there were some students who were comparing their actual houses on Redfin. There were students who were comparing their household income. What I thought was really interesting, while they did do the comparison, nobody was critiquing. At the end of the day, they did say, well, when I get older, I'm going to have to make my own decisions. And I think that's the power of this exercise. The kids realizing that they have to make their own financial decisions, and that they need to have their own level of accountability, as well as agency around the jobs they choose and seek, and the self-investment, right? Some of my students realize that, wait, if I want to be a lawyer, I have to go to law school. And so they have to look up the added cost of continuing education in graduate school. While other students, they were just asking the question, Mr. White, what job can I do that won't require me to go into debt? And of course, there was an easy endorsement for plumbers, carpenters, electricians, great jobs. This is also a great opportunity for students to think about their future and who they want to become regarding their career choices, their college courses. So what? Why does this lesson matter? Well, all I can say is pay it forward. I wish someone would have told me about compound interest when I was their age. Now, I had my first job at 16, however, I was not financially literate. While I was surrounded by people who worked really, really hard in my family, I can't say I was surrounded by people who knew how to manage their money wisely. And that's no shot at my family. I think we're all just trying to survive and get by, and I'm so grateful. And so I think another big takeaway from this activity is respect, adoration, admiration, and appreciation of parents and kids, knowing that their parents sacrifice so much for their education and that the kids should pay it forward, as well as give back to their families by doing well in school and making good choices. Hey, it's D White, founder of JustBlackThoughts.com. If you haven't done so, hit subscribe on YouTube. Follow me at The Other English Teacher on Instagram and YouTube. Peace. Other quotables. So, Mr. White, you got us doing budgets, but we're $34 trillion in debt? Touche, young person, touche. I guess America needs to learn how to budget and spend their money wisely.